What is good? YouTube Quinn Wade basketball announcers coming to y'all with a quick video. We're gonna talk about the bright future Suns today. They've been able to make up some ground when people thought it was over. They was done. They dug their grave and put the dirt in on them. But I'm here to report that they actually is playing pretty good. We've seen what they could do in the beginning of the season. Got off to a so-so start. Seemed like they could, really mesh and play well together. Problem was DeAndre Ayton got suspended, which he's a big part of what they do on both sides of the court. I'm a fan of Ayton. Never been a huge fan, but I respected him as a player. I like his rebounding ability. I like his touch as a big. I like his mobility. I like the fact that he has good hands and he can finish around that paint. So they got something special. Some people argued that they shouldn't took him number one, but if they're going to build around Booker and they're going to allow him to be who he is at this point, then Aiden is a pretty good fit alongside him, and they just need more pieces so they can be more competitive, and it's just going to be brutal, honestly, in the Western Conference. But when we talk about Devin Booker, this is a guy that was a controversial all star. Some people feel that it was other people that should have made it in front of him. Some people didn't feel like he was an all star. I was happy that he did make it to the all star game just because I see the work that he put in. I see that he gives it on both ends on the court when it comes to trying to win the games. He is a guy that has made big shots. He's a guy that's not afraid of the moment, showed a lot of improvement throughout years. He never got to that top 10 level, but at least he continued to work and try to get the best out of his skill set. People thought when he came into the league that he would just be a good shooter, a guy that can, be a complimentary player, but he is the best player on his team. He is one of the bright stars in this league, and it is good to have an all-star certification under your belt because I feel like he is one of the best players in the league. And I felt that way for a long time, not just this season. And it is good for him to get rewarded for that because he did put a lot of hard work in, and he is a guy that has performed even if his teammates wasn't there, even if they wasn't healthy, even if they wasn't good enough. He still went out there, sacrificed his body, sacrificed his reputation because a lot of people look at him as a loser. A lot of people look at him as a guy that isn't elite. A lot of people look at him as a guy that might not be able to be the best player on a team, but he never really worried about that. He continued to go out there and play the best that he could, and I got to give him credit and respect just for that as a person that used to play. And, I still feel like when I look at the rest of his rosters, injuries really didn't help him out this year. The Aiden suspension was, detrimental at one point, and it really probably cost them a real competitive season. And when you lose a guy that's just that important and a difference maker and somebody that can really balance out the offensive load with Devin Booker and the rest of his team, it really did hurt them a lot when they lost him. But they got it together. They technically still got a shot. It's a long shot, but they still got a shot to at least put all their eggs in one basket and try to make it to the playoffs. And people thought they didn't even deserve that. People thought they didn't deserve the opportunity to even be in these playoff seeding games to fight for a playoff spot. But they heard it. They knew how people felt about them. They knew all the trash talk that they was hearing, and they went out there and handled their business, and they did it in a respectable way by going out there competing against whoever's on their schedule. And honestly and truthfully, I got to give them credit for that because they won the majority of their games. So I'm happy what I'm seeing from the Suns. I'm liking what they're doing when it comes to play. I still feel like the roster is not good enough. I still feel like they need a lot more help for Devin Booker if they are to be a serious threat in the West or even a playoff team in the West. See how hard it is to do that for a lot of teams. We looking at Portland and a lot of teams that's not even guaranteed to make it still, and they're not even in the eighth seed spot. And you still have the young teams like the Pelicans and the Grizzlies, and then you have the Warriors that's going to all be trying to fight for those top 8 spots, and that don't even include the 7 spots that's already taken already in the Western Conference. So it's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy, but Devin Booker seems like he's not scared of the challenge. I haven't heard him complain. I haven't really heard him whine. I haven't really heard him wanting to be traded. I heard him in trade rumors, but I never heard it come out of his mouth. And the way he's been playing and the way the team is playing, this is a positive sign. Even if they don't make it to the playoffs, it is a positive sign that they have some type of hope and they have some type of, pride in them because they are going out there competing and they feel that they can compete and beat anybody. And that's what I want to see out of a young team that's still developing and still finding out who they are and still trying to get the best out of themselves. And a lot of these guys are under 25. So that's another thing that they look decent. So I'm just happy that the Suns are going out there competing. I'm happy for Devin Booker going out there sinking the Clippers like that and continuing them to play hard. And then you look at the rest of this roster, they have interesting things going on with this roster. I don't really agree with a lot of it, but it is a more competitive roster than what Devin Booker has had the years coming up to this year. I do like some of their complementary players. They took gambles, they made trades that we won't know if they're going to work out because they so young still that they can turn into other pieces. The Kelly Oubre trade was a trade that a lot of people was kind of wishy-washy on, but it was a good trade nonetheless because he did give them some more scoring, some more space, and then a creator, something that they lacked, and I still feel like they lack now since he's been gone. He would have been a good addition to how they're playing right now. And now I just want to see where they go from here after the seeding games are over and if they make it or don't. I really want to see what they go from here with this roster just because they are getting in a situation where people are getting impatient. They're in a situation where people are getting frustrated with the lack of the success of this Suns team year after year after year being so bad. So at least they gave some type of hope in the beginning of the season. They're giving us some fight right now. But eventually Devin Booker is going to want to win, and eventually he is going to get sick and tired of not making it to the playoffs. He has said it time and time again that he wants to make it. And I see the way he's playing now, and I see the way he played all season that he does. But you still need help, and you still need people to come in and do their job and play their role and be effective on both sides of the court. Devin Booker can only control and do so much on his team, and he has held his part for the most part this year. Everybody else got to do theirs, and the general manager got to put the talent around his team for them to be more successful. So when I look at the Suns right now, I'm still kind of iffy on them right now. But I still do like what they are about. I still do like the Aiden pick for what they was trying to do with the team. And now we have to see what direction they're going to go in after the type of season that they're having this year. And after the Aiden suspicion was lifted, they looked at a lot better. They looked at a lot more complete. And now it's just about putting those third, fourth, and fifth options around his team. I don't see Ricky Rubio as the answer for point guard, not because he can't play, but he just don't fit the timeline of this team. He gets the job done. He gives them what they need to a certain extent, and he has helped make a lot of the players on this team job a lot easier by penetrating, being aggressive, and also passing and finding open guys. And even Devin Booker need a break from not having the ball, for having the ball in his hand a lot. And it is good to get some wide open shots from time to time, even if it's just for your confidence. You don't always want to create every possession and still have to play defense and rebound and stuff like that. You do want to get some easy buckets, whether it's in transition or spot up from time to time, even if it's cutting to the basket. But as this team continue to develop and find their identity and find a type of style that they want to play as they get more pieces and talent, hopefully, maybe we can see this team eventually break through after all these years and finally become a playoff team. But I got to give a shout out to Devin Booker. I'm watching you. I see what you're on. I see what you're doing. And I'm happy that he did become an all-star. I didn't disagree when he got selected. But it is good at the end of the day that he got some type of recognition for the hard work that he has put in so far. And I still think he has that niche to get better. He has the love for the game. He enjoys playing the game. He enjoys those moments. And now we just have to see what he does in the future. Will he stay the Heat best play? I mean, the Suns' best player, or will he eventually want to try something different and try to compete on a different team? I don't know what he's going to do. They paid him, they committed to him, and they trying to still figure out how to get the best pieces around him to get the best results from this organization and the team. So I don't really got much to say about that. I just like the fact that they fighting. I like the fact that they going out there competing. I like the fact that they're not backing down and they're not just giving away W. They're not just quitting. They're trying to just go out there and play the best basketball that they can and live with the results. And that's all I can really ask for a team that a lot of people didn't think will even win this many games already. And a lot of people didn't think they should deserve this spot to even be fighting for the A spot in the West. But nonetheless, they still going out there giving they all. And that's all I can really see and ask for from this team. Other than that, Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description, comment section below. Also, if you're new to the channel, I have over 1,000 videos of different variety, whether it's playoff predictions, discussions, top 10 lists, or even if it's breakdowns of rookies, legends, and even players, or even summer league analysis. I do cover summer league. Also, season previews, trade deadline, free agency. If you love that type of stuff, you can't get enough of that basketball in your system, I do try to make a video each and every day to fill y'all needs. Other than that, Quinn Wade, basketball analysis, I'm gone. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of y'all day.